Ngempela uMankonyana guyzini wayezivumelana isithembu kwasekuqaleni when she's gonna be complaining like this. Baby girl is constantly complaining about isithembu. I mean, if you know, like, I don't know isithembu that much. I don't have much experience, but I do know that it's close to impossible for two women to share one man, so clearly the day evuma yena exactly what was her expectations, that nothing will change. Obviously a lot will change, and unfortunately, because she is the elder wife, she will be on the receiving part, whilst uZethu and uSifiso are still in a honeymoon phase. So uMankonyane is finding it so hard to adjust into uZethu being umnakwabo. She feels neglected. In a way, I do feel like uSifiso has definitely neglected and ignored all Mankonyana's needs. He is so hyper focused on uZethu, is not even a joke. Like, that's the only thing that he cares about. It's Zethu this, Zethu that, nothing else. So I do feel like uMankonyana have a point, but I do feel like isithembu maybe it tends to be like that sometimes. It tends to be like that. You hyper focus on one thing and only on one thing. So uMankonyana has been receiving advice that perhaps, the reason that she and Sifiso have been arguing a lot is because something is lacking in the bedroom. And uMankonyana is like, okay, I am willing, ukuzivuselela umshado wami. And according to the advice that she's receiving is that she needs to spice up things in the bedroom, And guess what? uZethu just called once. Zethu just made a one call and said, listen, Sifiso, I need you. There is something that I need, that I want us to discuss about the wedding. And uSifiso sana abandoned uMankonyana. Hey, sana. Now, this week, something is going to be hectic because uZethu is going to be celebrating her bridal shower. She's going to be on the bridal shower mode. And unfortunately for uZethu, she will drink something that will not be good for her, something poisonous. And we're all going to be asking ourselves, like I'm asking myself, who did this? But we do see someone spanking up a drink, and that someone looks like uMankonyana. Sana, what has Mankonyana tended to be? What has Mankonyana tended to be? Why is she sprinkling Zethu's drink? I am so afraid for uMankonyana. Like, I am so afraid for uMankonyana. We do see a hand here pouring something into someone's drink, and that hand looks like Mankonyana's hand. Like, isithembu will definitely turn you to be something that you're not. And I don't know, like, I'm finding it so difficult to sympathize with uMankonyana. Like, I have to be honest, I'm finding it extremely difficult because at the end of the day, guys, uyena owavuma isithembu. Like, why is vumelani isithembu kwasekuqaleni? You know what I mean? Because isithembu is never a nice, good thing. Never. It's never nice. It's never good for anyone, for that matter. But I do find it's just a bit difficult. Now, also, Ushobane has decided he rather wants to be a resident of Okambeni and come back and work as a doctor in the villages. And I'm also like eyeing Ushobane, because I'm like, Shobane, yeah, your decision is motivated by what? What's motivated your decision, Shobane? Because I highly suspect something did motivate your decision, and that something could be uZethu, who is just about to get married. So I don't know, guys. I don't know if Mashobane will shake things up, but I feel like Zethu is just making bad decisions all in all. Like, baby girl, she's just making bad, horrible decisions. And honestly, my heart can't help it but to ache for her. Sana, Sifiso and Zethu's marriage relationship is having troubles before it's even begin. Now, I must say that judging from Sfiso's reaction and the situation, definitely being a polygamous man, it's not easy at all. Because on the other side, he have Zethu, who is very much independent, who's a medical doctor. And as much as she agreed to marry a Zulu man, she's not willing to abide by all the Zulu customs. On the other side, we have Mangonyana or Sana, a very obedient wife who's willing to do just about anything to satisfy her husband. Okay, so now, first of all, the big clash here was the attire. Zethu is like, Lalela Sana, I ain't gonna wear my Conti attire. It's not happening, not now, not ever. I'm not about that life. Mangonyana feels like she is being disrespected by Zethu, who is refusing to wear Makoti attire, saying, listen, babe, I feel like you're disrespecting me right now, and you're disrespecting me in my house. Honestly, I would say that Usfiso was very, very wrong to invite Zethu to come and live in Mangonyana's house, or rather to let his two wives share a house. Like, where have you ever see that? I have never seen it anyway. Obviously, because you can never expect two women to share just a roof. It's very difficult for them to share to share a house. So Umangonyana was like, you know what, Sfiso, I'm tired of Zethu. Zethu is disrespectful. And I do feel like, in a way, Usfiso was also disrespecting Umangonyana, expecting Umangonyana to be Zethu's maid. You know, Umangonyana must cater for Zethu's needs, cook for Zethu, clean after Zethu. I'm just like, okay, Sfiso, like, for real. So I don't really blame Umangonyana for chasing Zethu. I'm just like, it was the right thing to do, honestly. It was the right thing to do. So now it seems like Zethu will be questioning her life choices, you know, because Zethu is also not ready to have a child, and somehow Umangonyana feels like this is the opportunity to have a second child, because she feels like a child is definitely one thing that's gonna bond him and Usfiso. And I'm just like, why is Mangonyana thinking like this? Like, Mangonyana, why? Why are you having this kind of thoughts? Like, it's crazy for you to think that if there is one thing that's going to bond you with your husband is a child, it's a baby. That's craziness. That is madness. Crazy. Waze wadlala nguMangonyana uSifiso. Waze wadlala nguMangonyana wenkosi, nkosi yami. Like, legit, uMangonyana at this point, she is Zethu's personal slave. Because what do you mean? What do you mean that uMangonyana must serve uZethu? Like, uZethu refuses ukugqoka impahla zokukotiza ngesizulu, saying that no, yena, she's too good to wear a makoti attire because she is a doctor. And obviously this angers uMangonyana, because uMangonyana have been wearing impahla zokukotiza ever since. And honestly, I do not blame her. Like, I do not blame her being angered, you know. Also, considering the fact that Usfiso promised uMangonyana a stofo, but Donolo is stofo sana, Jans Usfiso have money to go and pay lobola, a whole lobola kesana. So now that uMangonyana has moved in with them, obviously this is making uMangonyana uncomfortable now that Zethu has moved in, because like legit Zethu cannot even cook a proper meal. A person who always and forever have to cook is uMangonyana. And uMangonyana at this point, she's just like, I'm over it. I am over it. I cannot be cooking and be catering for Zethu. Sana, let me say this. Isthembu does look cute from distance. Cuteness from distance, because what Mangonyana is going through, I can't, okay? Now, Zethu came with an HIV case, which I understand that, in their setup, really they need to protect themselves. But I don't understand why Mangonyana acted overly. She just overly reacted, you know. She overly reacted, considering that they are in a very unfamiliar setup. But Kesana Umankonyana gave Usfiso an ultimatum. I want Uzetu out of my house, and I want it to happen sooner. The sooner the better. I want Zetu out. And I'm just like, yeah. I want Umankonyana to choose herself and just leave Usfiso, because what do you even mean? What do you even mean? Hi, welcome to Homecoming Recap. Now, the storyline of Madlomo, definitely not Madlomo, Manglobo. Manglobo definitely does break my heart. My heart just it broke for Madlomo. I mean, the only thing that Madlomo all ever wanted was to just make her own money, be independent, but also, be by her husband's side. But unfortunately, Ushwabi felt intimidated, did not want Umangcobo to have her own salon. And, when she got the courage to open the salon, regardless of her husband's disapproval, I was like, good for you, babe. Good for you. You good. Go ahead. And honestly, I do see how two wrongs never make right at all. Obviously, Shwabi's wrong is unspeakable. It's unspeakable. It's a crime. He should be arrested. But also, guys, let's not forget that Mangcobo, why do I keep on calling her Mangcobo, was just as wrong. Inviting another man in your husband's house, in your husband's bed. I mean, cheating on its own, it's wrong. But inviting another man in your husband's home, it's wrong. It's despicable as well. But it's not equivalent wrong as Shwabi's reaction. Shwabi's reaction was, I don't know, and it's wrong. It's more than wrong. It's a crime. And I'm so sad because now Mangcobo is living in fear of Shwabi. And Sana, she have just people who cares for her so much, who wants to help her. We're like, oh, please, we want to help you. How can we help you? How can we be there for you and help you through this and that? And I mean, when she said no, she doesn't need anyone's help, because there are so many women out there who are actually in a lineup for her position, who wants to become the next Mrs. Shwabi. Shwabi has made sure that he has broken all the little confidence that Mangcobo have in herself, including changing the way that she loves to dress, the way she look at herself, and be like, listen, you are nothing. You gonna dress like you are nobody. You are nobody. And I'm just like, what? Why would you kill someone's confidence, especially in that way and in that manner? Why would you kill someone's confidence? Like, why would you? Anyway, yeah, the storyline is not easy to watch or to review, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm just composing myself and thinking about all the horrible things, even restricting who she befriends, going as far as you cannot befriend with whom and whom. Oh, Sana, it's a lot. One thing about Zethu, she will find herself in love triangles. Just when she got out of Sfiso and Mangwanyana's love triangle, guess what Zethu does? She goes back to another love triangle. Now this time it is Dr. Shobani, Leranto, and Zethu herself. Now Zethu's parents are still in no position of wanting to forgive her for obviously cheating with a married man Escudini. Now Umangwanyana has absolutely broke out and forgot that she is Emakoti. Baby girl has even changed her dress code, how she dresses. She definitely dresses as an unmarried woman. Baby girl is always up in clubs, living her best life. Even when Sfiso tries to fetch her, she's like, listen, nah, I get it, Zeni. I get involved nowhere, and I do not want to go anywhere with you, Sfiso. You cheated on me, and you shall continue to cheat on me. And Sfiso is like, listen, I've apologized. I don't know how many times should I apologize, but I have apologized. But it seems like Sfiso's apology is definitely not enough. It's you, Mangwanyana. Now, Sfiso also goes to the Hlongwane family. Zethu's mother is furious, and also as much as Zethu's father was willing to talk to Sfiso, but he does express his disappointment towards Sfiso, saying that even if you did want to be with my daughter, you should have came with cows the right way and not shame my daughter the way that you did. Hlongwane is like, you have disappointed me, Sfiso. I take you, or I have taken you as a son, but you have done nothing but to disappoint me. Now we move along to the fact that I honestly hate Homecoming when it comes to storyline. Tell me, where did the storyline of Mangcobo and Garaji end? Okay, it seems like it's just ended in the air, and they started strongly to focus on Zethu. And I think one thing about their storylines, they always do that, you know. Their storylines just always ends in the air. Anyway, Unomfundo and Unomalanga found a wallet that had money, and they used their 1,000. Now it appears that they can also access the card, the money in the card, as they have found the pin. But the sad thing here is that the wallet actually belongs to Metron. Oh, Sana, the fear that I have for Unomfundo and Unomalanga as soon as I found out that this wallet is Metron's wallet. Wherever they come from, and inform them and say, listen, you are now my people. You know, they've really glorified him. You know, he refers to himself as a big king called Moshweshwe. We therefore get to see a young, beautiful woman who goes by the name of Buwang. Buwang seems to be a soldier woman, very powerful woman. However, they say there is something about Zulu charm you can never resist, Kesana. It's irresistible. It's irresistible, and it's called a Zulu charm. If, of course, you've never encountered it, you will never know about it, okay? And if you have, you have. Those who know kind of situation. So I feel like Buwang right here has fallen for something called a Zulu charm, okay? Like I told you, if you know, you know. If you have experienced it, you have experienced it. If not, child, you are definitely missing out on a Zulu charm. Hey. You are definitely missing out on a Zulu charm. So yeah, we have Buwang here, who has fallen in love with Umtunzi or Umtutuzeli. I'm not quite sure about the guy's name. He's new of this season. Yeah, I don't know. Tutuzeli is part of the group that was kidnapped by Hladi, because Hladi in return he wants 50 cows from Bandile. Now, I mean, I don't know, guys. The storyline of season 2 is not giving for me. I am so sorry. The storyline for season 2 is not giving for me, and I'm like, okay, maybe perhaps it's still early days. Maybe it's still early days. Let me give it let me give it, you know. Let me give it time. I'm like, let me give it time. Probably in time, season 2 will grow in me, and I will love it. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, season 1 nailed it for me. It really did nail it for me. But yeah, guys, please do comment down below and tell us your thought. What do you think about season 2? Are you there? Are you quite there yet? Or are you hopeful that you will perhaps one day get there with season 2? For me, I'm remaining hopeful for now. Like, I'm just super hopeful. But yeah, I'm not quite there yet. You know, I feel like it's a repeat of season 1 in a way. I don't know. I'm not quite there. That's what it is. I'm just gonna say this out loudly. It is what it is. I'm sorry if I'm hurting some people, but I'm very hurt that the original Sihle is replaced with this new Sihle. I love this girl. Love her. We've got to see her on Itonga as Umbali. She is now on Outlaws and she is replaced because Usihle of the season 1, we have not seen her, or she did not return for season 2. This is our new Sihle. Let me tell you, Sihle season 1 killed this role of being Sihle. Like, she murdered it, okay? She killed it so much that it was so easy to just fall in love with her. Like, I fell in love with her. I was so much deep within in love with